Hi everyone, this is Miss Stalls, and it's been a hot minute, has it not? About 11 months, judging from the last video I put up, at least that's what YouTube says. There have been many reasons for my absence, and we'll go into all of that presently. A lot has changed since I've been on here last, one of which is I got a new apartment, and we'll do a brief walk around tour of sorts while I jabber at you. One of the things that I didn't like about my old place was that it was so unbelievably small. It was what's called an economy studio. And that's what I could afford at the time. And then I got a new job, and I got what I felt was a new lease on life. And I took that new lease on life, and I got myself this place in the same building with the same landlords. I got a good deal on it. And I started making it as pretty as I could. With this new job and what I felt was a new lease on life came new choices. I started taking Shaolin Kempo after an assault that happened last December while I was on my way to work. So this is my uniform for Shaolin Kempo. That's my yellow belt. I've been studying since about January, right after the assault. This is the 6th assault I've had since living in the city, and I just figured it was time to take matters into my own hands, then hoping that the cops will catch everybody, because of the 6 times that this has happened, they've only caught the perpetrator once. The point of this video is not to talk about Shaolin Kempo or the new apartment. The point is that this year I took time away from not only YouTube, but pretty much my entire personal life. And I started focusing my energies on a few key things: work, training, kung fu, and a campaign that I was divided to work on. And one of the reasons for this was because I was really unhappy living here still. I came here in 2003 after working in upstate New York in theater, which turns out wasn't what I thought it would be. And while I always intended to go back to a career involving either film or theater or the arts in some way, it never happened. I took these paycheck jobs. They were just a paycheck. They were nothing fulfilling, nothing I was passionate about, just doing what we all are doing, getting by. And there's nothing wrong with that. Something wrong with that, though. Something very, very wrong with that. Anyway, 8 years later, I'm still saying the same things. You know, working jobs that I didn't hate, but that I didn't feel truly passionate about. Working jobs with people I respected, but not in fields that I ever intended to stay in. And on Friday, there was a round of layoffs, and naturally, yours truly was on the chopping block. We'll just do a quick roll call of the delight that has been my 2011. A friend of mine died. My best friend stole $300 from me to buy drugs. I got it back. Believe me, I got it back. Oh, girl, you know me. You know I'm not going to put up with that. I was not having that. Laid off again. And last night, when I went in expecting to be told when my orange belt test is, turns out not only did the test already happen, and most everybody except for myself and 2 other people in the class not get to advance, but people who don't work as hard as I do, don't show up as often as I do, don't put the time into it that I do, got to go ahead and get their orange belts, and here I am still sitting at a damn yellow belt. Like, what is that, you know? And the more I think about it, and the more I talk to myself about it and ask myself about it, the more I realize everything in you that you have put into the last 24 months, everything that you have worked for the last 24 months is gone. It's gone. It's all gone. What was the point of putting all this effort into my personal growth? What was the point of putting all this time and attention into getting healthy physically, getting healthy emotionally, getting more accountable professionally, getting a better job, getting a better apartment, going into Shaolin Kempos, continuing to train for half marathons, all of this stuff, all of this self-work to dress up this life and to dress up this world in which you're living and to dress up your current situation? What was it all for if it all just goes away? So here's the current situation as I see it. since all of this effort has pretty much been for nothing, and since no matter how much I could dress up and improve the life that I was living, ultimately, I was never happy here. I've never been happy here, ever. And I'm thinking, you've got a tidy sum in savings, you've got a generous severance package coming in. Now is the time where if you wanted to, you could make that break. You could leave Seattle and start again. Two different options from what I see. One, stay in Seattle, get another job, and make another go of it, which frankly makes me want to jump off the Aurora Bridge. Or two, take what you can, take your furniture, your clothes, your belongings, what you can fit into either a van or rent a U-Haul and load it up and leave. Just leave and go and start fresh again someplace else with no burned bridges, no haunting reminders of past mistakes, no passive, obnoxious people around us. People in Seattle typically are, and just start again in a place that you like, in a place that you enjoy, in an industry that's not the same ones you've been working in, which don't really jive with your personal and moral beliefs, the stuff that you're just not passionate about. Stop doing that and start again someplace else in an industry in which you're passionate, in a place that you like, and just begin again. If I choose to begin again, I'm going to need some advice, which is why I'm coming to the YouTube community firstly. I need to know some things. What is the economy like in your neck of the woods? What's the job market like? Are you guys recovering? Are you about the same? Do you feel the economic impact? Let me know what state you're in and what the job market is like. Just even a brief description would be really helpful. Number two, I need to know what the people are like where you live. People in Seattle are very soft. They're very lazy. They're very apathetic. They don't talk to each other and yet complain about how lonely they are. They don't want to do anything for themselves. They're very educated, but they're not smart, if you know what I'm saying. It's a very difficult city to live in if you're not a passive-aggressive person. And I am in no way a passive-aggressive person. People here are very passive, and I'm very aggressive. So my personality just doesn't jive with the people around here, and that's been a real source of problems for me in the past. And it's not that I'm trying to be rude, it's just that I don't talk the way people here talk to each other. So I'm leaning towards more of an East Coast relocation, because the people in the East Coast, whenever I've visited, speak the way that I speak, relate to each other the way that I relate to people. I feel so much more comfortable there, even though I've never been in that place before, because I get along with the people there. I get along with the people that I'm talking to. I understand why they're talking to people the way that they're talking to people. I get it, and it feels very natural to be there. So leaning towards an East Coast, probably DC, Boston, Pennsylvania type of thing. And thirdly, the industries I've been working in have been all wrong. Finance and medical are just not the place for me. What I'm looking for is what's called a green collar job, something in the green industry, either with biodiesel or wind power or the development of algae fuel, something along those lines that would feel a lot more like I'm working for the solution rather than helping to maintain the problems that we have in this country. And lastly, I want to ask any of you who have made cross-country moves, tell me about what you did. Did you get a job first? Did you move first? Did you stay with family or friends? Did you get a cheap hotel room until you could stay somewhere? What did you do? What was your plan? How did you do it? Give me some advice. How did you make it happen? Did you buy a van? Did you rent a U-Haul? Did you stay at campsites? Did you stay at hotels? What did you do? Just tell me what you did. What did you do? What it worked? What didn't work? And just, pepper me with advice that way. And I want to take YouTube on this journey with me because I can't think of a better group of people to share it with, a better group of people to ask for advice and to get some input as to what's the haps in your area and what you all think about this plan. And I greatly appreciate everybody's input, and it's such a great thrill to be back on YouTube, even in this very circumstantial, happenstance, topsy-turvy way. And I look forward to hearing from everyone soon. Bye, guys.